All right, welcome everybody. We are ready for Group B. The Nations Cup continues, and we got France against Sweden. 28 teams signed up for the Nations Cup. $10,000 are on the line, and they are representing 17 nations. So that's actually the reason why we have behind each and every one of these teams currently a number, because we have 3 teams that sign up for France, 3 teams that sign up for Sweden, and the number behind the country represents the seeding with which they entered the tournament. So the strongest of the French teams is currently going up against the weakest, so to say, team from Sweden. But we had amazing games in Group A. We had some really cool matches already, and I doubt that this is going to be any different. Every hero that gets played can only be played once within a series, so you can only see each hero once per match. And for this one in particular, I actually got myself some reinforcements in. So once again, welcome to the stream, Trixler.
I'm clocking in, man. Good morning, Mr. Khaldor. Afternoon for you, and then I'm sure wherever people are watching this on YouTube and Twitch, they're in some portion of the day. So good morning and evening to you as well, or as they say in Thailand, Sawadee Krap.
I actually heard that we have a different match. Maybe somebody screwed up here.
Uh-oh, are we having errors and mistakes?
And that one
This
could
is on
be
brand for
me.
me,
Yeah,
though.
I actually screwed up. Okay, so my bad. It is the UK team. We have UK number 1. I slipped in the group and had the wrong one in. So yeah, my bad, everybody. So live on stream. We had a couple of last-second adjustments. So this is actually the UK team, and it is the first UK team. The match against Sweden 3 is going to happen later today. So I'm a man ahead of my time is what happened here.
I can't believe you made a mistake. I don't know if I want to cast with you, actually. Like,
Oh,
how
wow.
long is this? This is the best of 3, right? Like,
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know if I can have an error in Fusecaster.
When even the Germans aren't reliable anymore, right? Like, what can you expect
Yeah,
from
right.
this
God, the
world?
world is just falling apart day in and day out. Well, in terms of draft, we are in Infernal Shrines. We have Johanna, Leoric, and Hanzo coming in for Team UK. That's correct, right? Team left is Team UK, and then
No, now you are screwing it up.
no,
That's
my
still the
feet is kinda
Frenchies.
screwed.
Dude, you met Masquerade and Dequaza and all these guys. Did they seem like... Come on, you
It took
talk
me
to
like
them.
3 years to figure out you were from
Hello,
Germany.
this
Okay?
is Dequaza. I speak English. I mean, that's more Masquerade than anything else, but still.
Okay, all right. So right side is Team UK. Got it. Malfurion is now banned out. And how's the series been going so far for our drafts? It's been pretty typical standard.
No, not
or
at
are we
all.
seeing like old Transformer stuff?
Dude, the Germans came in and they said, hey, we are the top dog in the group and we're going to prove it. They played wild stuff. We had a butcher amongst other things, and yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it's the group stage, right? So
Finally.
every single group has essentially 1 or 2 heavy hitters, and then we'll just see how it goes. Some of them, you know, they try some stuff that they already played in scrims, but they test it out here. We'll see. I mean, now Tyrael, Brightwing coming in. I would assume that for this one, especially since it's the first match in that group, in Group B, everybody is going to go fairly standard and just test the waters a little bit.
Okay, so a bit of a control over here for Team UK on the far right. I am looking for maybe a little bit more damage, but we'll have that rounded out soon. Far left here for our blue team. What support are you thinking that they could pick up?
For Banana, always Ana would be nice. But we
Always
get
Ana?
we get the Orcs. Later.
Look at Lux.
Don't come out with the heavy ones right away. So Rhaegar Thrall. Thrall with that Pinnacle reward quest, the big one, Maelstrom weapon on level 1. I mean, if he gets the 55 stacks for the second reward, he is going to hit hard. And I can totally see that. Chromie as the last pick.
That's some damage.
Yep, there's the damage that you were looking for. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready and good to go. We got Team UK against Team France as we're heading into map number 1, Infernal Shrines. Team France in blue on the left, ladies and gentlemen, as we're heading into the series. We got Dequaza on Leoric, GWO on Hanzo, Masquerade on Jojo, Banana H on Rhaegar, and Yazoo is playing Thrall in game number 1 of the best of 3.
And representing UK1 into the red, it's going to be Tyrael on Cascon, Devs on Brightwing, TV Coffee on Junkrat, Dark Druida on Chromie, and Vented Sun, which I have never read that name before, but Vented Sun playing Urel. Let's see how that goes.
I'm actually excited for this one. The Frenchies are one of the favorites for sure in the tournament, specifically for the group here. And, well, they gotta perform. There's obviously a lot of familiar names here. Masquerade at the front. We get the Maelstrom weapon for Thrall as expected, so it's the go-to talent right now with the quest reward. Hitting the first 25 really helps, but once that the second quest reward is unlocked, he hurts. He absolutely wrecks people. So we'll see how much he can actually do here. Top lane has already been established, Junkrat moved down to the bottom, and we're off to the races.
Yeah, I actually haven't played too much Thrall in this new patch yet. I've been slowly getting back into HOTS. Is this quest just requiring you to walk up an auto attack after hitting your E?
Yep.
And then you kind of stack that up for a little bit, so it's more about just kind of being in melee range a lot?
Exactly. Like, the more you can pull off there, the better. I mean, if anybody sets it up, of course, with a stun, it's even easier. The problem is that a lot of the players, especially on the amateur level, they use it more as a gap closer, so then you don't get enough attacks in to actually stack it. And it's made a bit easier after you hit the first reward, but especially when you go to 55. If you get that done in a reasonable time frame, you become a single target damage monster. But again, as you already said, you gotta get close, so that's always a bit of a risk.
Well, Yasu moving forward here and get some damage on top of Brightwing. There's going to be a full engage here on the bottom left corner. You're going to see Tyrael low on HP looking for that trade value potentially. Oh, Masquerade taking some decent damage himself, but there goes Tyrael finally. Steps up, gets an explosion, hits too, but the red team is actually going to take away the mercenary camp and get bottom lane pushing out, so not too shabby. However, a decent amount of stacks did go forward for Thrall as he is currently at 10 out of that 25 that you're mentioning.
Really nice stacking progress from Thrall, for sure. And that they got the camp, that was nice. Because if you lose Tyrael here, and then you... Oh, they get a kill too. Insta-kill against Leoki over here. I like it.
You already.
The UK is fighting back, so they're crossing the channel, and they're invading France from the looks of it. At least as this starts up here. Me likey. Good stuff. Pay him back, boys.
I do really like the team comp for Team UK. You know, they have a lot of like poke, but also one great benefit for them too is they have a lot of control over the front line of the opposing team. You have Chromie traps, you have Junkrat traps, you have a lot of poking, and if anyone does get a full engage in, you have Brightwing to follow it up with that polymorph as well. So if they can win poke elongated fights, I can see them doing pretty well as we head into the mid game. Right now we are tying up, and we do see our bruiser camps being grabbed in the top left and top right. Typically you want to try and pull that out a bit early, especially with the shrine activating on the top side, and that is mirrored equally perfectly here by our two teams.
Honestly, with Thrall already sitting at 15 or 14 stacks right now, this could really become a problem as this continues. I mean, we're only a couple of minutes in and he's already doing well. If the UK can shut him down, that would be great. But we'll see how much he can stack now in that actual team fight, because this is, of course, where things get real. In experience, both roughly on the same level, so nobody seems to be staying too long in the middle of the bot lane to get an early level 7. And well, we'll see who gets that first Punisher. It's a frozen Punisher too, so a strong one.
Well, Team UK does a good job of getting top lane pushed out, so they can put some pressure there and get a little bit of vision. Here comes Coffee, who did just push in the middle lane as well. So that poke should start going to unfold. However, France is ahead right now. 18-0, now up to 21 as they clear out these minions. A full engage on Nequaz in the top right corner, who drops a creepy hand to try and stay alive, but is going to need some help from his Masquerade. And he does come in just in time. Ooh, but Vincent Sun goes in Banana H, low on HP, and there is going to be a pop, Khaldor.
The UK, look at them. They're actually on fire here. France came in as the favorite in this group, I'd say, but right now it is the red team that is getting the kills. 2 kills to 1. They push back the French. Not that that's difficult. And they're starting to take control over the shrine itself.
Ah, Khaldor and his friends' jokes. Everyone get ready and buckle up, it's not going to stop.
They can make the German jokes as much as they want as well. We are having some friendly banter over here in Europe.
I love it. Well, top lane push does go their way, and this is a good thing about a poke composition. Once you do get one pick and you have a number advantage, you can slow down the aggression and really start to bring the hurt. And that hurt is now coming in favor for Team UK, and it is going to be a frozen Punisher at the start as well, which is probably one of the better Punishers to get, as it does turn off those forts whenever it uses its ability, as you're going to see it right now. So you're going to get a little bit of decent damage on that fort. Meanwhile, on the rest of the map, it was a soaking party for Yrel and Leoric, as we are still very close in experience 7-7, but Chromie Ultimate is about to unlock.
Yeah, Chromie is going to get access to a level 10. And also, we have Thrall nearly done with his level 4. He just needs another connect. So if he doesn't miss that, then he will complete it also in a very reasonable time frame. And with 18 stacks, he's not looking too bad there. So the UK actually really surprising here with how well they're doing in the early game. They're doing a fantastic job on all of this. But there is the threat of the French team scaling and getting even more dynamic after level 10. So that's something to watch out for.
going to be slowing Sands pickup here for Chromie. I was wondering about that temporal loop, although with Rhaegar having a cleanse already baked in, you know, that is kind of hard to pull off. But I always do think there is an argument for trying to force cleanse a bit early out of fights to go for some hard aggression. But regardless, we are going to have those slowing Sands coming in. And you actually mentioned the level 4 talent for Thrall. Is this actually meta now, Frostwolf Pack? Because I have loved this talent, bro. No kidding, since like 2017. I love the reduction in cost and of course the mana. It makes Thrall being able to be a nice spammable character.
Absolutely. It's been actually meta on the European side for quite some time now, especially with Alpha Wolf then as a synergy on 16. So it's been the go-to for a long time. And the one thing that has also changed now, of course, with Thrall just getting a little bit reworked is Elemental Assault is by now standard on 7. So not anymore Ancestral Wrath, but Elemental Assault instead. So that's typically what we're seeing right now. Lots of damage from Thrall coming in if he can stack properly. Falset, obviously, another winner from the Pinnacle. Oh my god, Masquerade, the Ancestral! And damn, the UK with another hit, guys! Team
France!
You can
kind of tell that Masquerade was surprised about that. He was stepping up, and even Rhaegar was like, oh, shoot, you're dying? He was trying to drop the Ancestral at the last second and couldn't quite hit it. A lot of firepower coming out from Team UK. There is good news for Masquerade. The Shrine isn't in the middle of being activated, so he will be back in time, but he is definitely going to be a bit more careful next time.
One of the surprising things, by the way, is that Tyrael went into Sanctification. That's not really standard anymore. Judgment is getting picked, I want to say 80%, 90% of the time. So Sanctification obviously still highly valuable if you execute it at the right moment, and with Entomb on the other side, with Sundering and all of the CC, you can definitely save the team here. But in most of the games where you see Tyrael, we're getting Judgment right now, and then oftentimes follow-ups with, let's say, a Hanzo Arrow, for example, or additional damage. So we've seen tons of that happening.
Yeah. I guess one of the arguments that I would think of here right away is, like, if you look at the blue team, their damage, aside from Hanzo, is pretty predictable. Yeah. So Sanctification makes it much easier to be able to hit there. So I can see that small niche case where it is good. But he does have to be careful for that Sundering. You can actually react to a Sanctification going down with a Sundering from Thrall. If you see it and then you activate immediately afterwards, you can interrupt it before that Sanctification comes off. So Cascon's going to have to be on point with that. Yasuo steps forward and takes some damage here. A nice little trade around as Right Wing drops on the Polymorph. But here comes Masquerade on the back right. There's going to be a Sundering as well, and some decent damage fired away, but nobody too low for Team UK.
So far they're doing okay. Thrall still in the middle. 25 stacks, gets the first quest reward, so good for Yasuo. The Riptide exploding right in his face though. And both of the teams still heavily fighting for position on the Shrine, and also the minions themselves. But Team UK, they are doing great here. So far for me, definitely the surprise of this match. Group B, didn't really know what to expect from a lot of the teams here, but always the French coming in as the big favorite, and so far they are having a tough time. Thrall goes down, another kill for the red team.
Gotta shout out Vented Sun right there. Masquerade came in on the back right and did a 4-man condemn, looking for a full aggressive play, but Vented Sun shut down Thrall, who wanted to go in for the aggressive play, by turning around with the hammer and knocking him into the corner, which allowed for the rest of the team to go ahead and stabilize and turn around and get that pop. So huge play by Yrel, and now a second Punisher going to Team UK, and things are looking a bit hairy now for our blue team.
Yeah, Leo dying at the top lane too, so this is actually getting crazy. Rob is obviously our head admin here, and he's going to be very happy that his countrymen are doing so well here. I mean, we have at least one guy cheering, but I think the French are a little bit caught off guard here. That's something that I do not believe they expected. A big attack through the middle, and that's going to be likely, potentially, the first fort of the game.
Sieging coming in from both Junkrat and Chromie. Cascon doing a good job of staying near those time traps. And the Ford, low on HP, is going to stand. But if you walk over and cough on that bad boy, it's going to fall over.
Talking about falling over. Vented Sun got murdered. Oh my god, that was actually mean. 5 versus 1, and you will just get absolutely shredded there. That's a kill, and it was only the second kill for the French team.
And just for a callback back to 2018, we used to cast together Khaldor. We used to do goat facts whenever we saw anyone get picked off. And so we're going to read a goat fact. A baby goat is called a kid, but did you know that a goat giving birth is said to be kidding? Interesting.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Interesting.
We have our jokes. We bring those back, bro. We don't play around out here. We're going to get the HE experience here in the Nations Cup.
I did not know that. I learned something today. So I enjoy Heroes Entertainment and I'm learning things. What an amazing stream.
What a world we live in. Make sure you subscribe to Khaldor, guys. Smile. All right, we're setting up for our next phase. We have 2 forts low in the middle and the top side for the blue team. And of course, with the great poke coming in from Team UK, they will be able to take those down later on. But at the same time, Team Blue is starting to get strengthened out. You're having your 16 talents about to come online, and they're going to get to a point here where if they can get a hard engage and delete a target, they can definitely start to dismantle UK. So UK is starting to play a little bit more careful. You see them already set up the traps here for this next shrine because they want to be in full control.
Thrall is by now top damage for the blue team together with Leoric. The two of them are leading the charts, and this is going to increase as he stacks up more. We have 25,000 for Junkrat. There are a lot of structures that are really low on the blue team side, but so far they are still standing, so there is not really a technical advantage for the UK just yet. They're working towards it, but they are actually a little bit behind in experience. And it's not by much, it's not a big window or anything, but it just shows that even with the excess kills that we're getting for Team UK, France is doing still alright.
I think that really showcases for people that don't play a lot of Heroes of the Storm how important taking those forts down are. Whenever you take down those forts, you get passive experience that kind of trickles in, and that will give you that lead that you're looking for. So even though we do have those kills, as mentioned by Khaldor, really that experience is always in the infrastructure. Make sure to take it down whenever you have your chances. Now, 16 is about to occur, and there it goes. It hits. Let me know, Khaldor, is there any talents here that look a little bit off or different for you?
Nothing really too crazy. We have the quest, well, not the quest, but basically the synergy completed with Rhaegar now, with this talent that he goes for. On the other side, we're getting for the Tyrael now bound by law. But yeah, 16 brings us also for the Tempest Fury at this point, and I want to see what Thrall is now able to do, because this is going to be the big question mark for me. If Team France is able to get him into play and get the damage out with Yasuo, they have a lot of opportunities here. The UK, they have to be careful with this. Both teams on 16 as we're going for the next Punisher. All the forts still standing on both sides. It could change now. Here comes the Sundering as Thrall engages, and immediately the Tomb follow-up, nearly dropping Coffee, but Junkrat is still alive.
And here comes the tire. It goes straight for Yasuo. Yasuo trying to retreat. There's going to be an Ancestral Healing right at the right time, and they will turn around this fight, and both teams walked away pretty much unscathed, aside from Coffee, who's going to need to tap. However, the true story of this engagement is going to be the Shrines. 33-5 in favor of Team France, and they will get their first Punisher of the game. And also, I believe in the top side of the map, they are also getting control of that minion wave. So now cleanup duty is going to be needed for Team UK as they get ready for defense.
It would be nice if they could still bait the Punisher over the wall, but those times are long gone, so now damage is essentially guaranteed for the blue team. They're gonna get some damage in here. Chromie, of course, is helping really with that single target damage, and you have Junkrat too, both of them firing away at this with ease. And the defense? Much more efficient than I actually expected it to be from a French team.
I think it's going to be efficient regardless because of Junkrat and Chromie. They just have such incredible poke, right? So blue team was like, you know what? We'll go straight to the top lane and we'll go ahead and try and bolster out this push going forward. They go straight in for Yrel, who's going to pop the bubble. She starts to continue chasing forward with Brightwing showing up in the last second. They're going to have to back away. Here comes the Sundering, and Coffee is down, ladies and gentlemen. Khaldor, there is no more Coffee in the world. Life now sucks for you.
That would be really bad for me. That would be horrible. There are big arrows, though. But I think Coffee will come back. Coffee will always come back. There's always time for Coffee. The kill, on the other hand, here was pretty awesome. Getting that Sundering and then the combo with the Entomb really just caught Junkrat off guard. He didn't see that coming and then got murdered. So another kill for the French team, and they're getting better and better with this. They're finding their stride here. They really had problems early on, but now they're stabilizing. And they actually took the first fort out, despite the fact that Team UK did so much damage to the forts earlier. The first one to fall is on the red team side.
All about that tug of war, but blue team's starting to feel a little bit more confident here, especially with Junkrat just now coming back. They move forward to the top right corner to grab the camp. It's actually taken away by Tyrael, who's going to use Sanctification. A Wolf comes out, though, at the last second. Brightwing's going to be able to come in with the phase shift and provide a heal.
Did you just say a Wolf comes out?
Yasuo in trouble. Here comes the poke. Khaldor, it's looking kind of scary here.
Ooh, that's Yrel gone. It was a really nice attempt to get a kill, but right now it seems that Team France is able to evade these kills time and time again, and then just turns it around to get one on their own. So they drop Yrel. I'm also questioning a little bit if it was really worth dropping that Sanctification there. On the one hand, nice play, able to get the camp. Was that really worth dropping the cooldown though? I mean, I guess it kind of worked, but the fight afterwards, it just backfired. And even with Chromie's level 20 now already chosen, Team UK is starting to fall behind here. Half a level behind, and it is Team France that is currently being aggressive, and Dequaza is obviously looking for more entombs.
Now, we're also behind on our goat facts. I was waiting for Khaldor to finish off his sentence, so here we go. Goats communicate with each other by bleating. Mothers will often call to their young kids to ensure that they are close by. There you go. Mother and kid goats recognize each other's calls soon after the mothers give birth.
I think my goat impression is 10 out of 10.
Yeah, let me hear that again, you know, with clear comms. Go ahead.
I think we're fine. 2 times is more
I'll
than
bleed
enough.
at you. Let's hear our bleeds.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever ask yourself who's the bigger idiot of the two of us, I think it's a tie.
All right, we're heading into the final stage here, and there's actually a wide gap in experience. One from a couple of kills, but two, that fort in the top right corner being taken off, man. Those forts are so important. 22-19.5, and with the Shrine activating towards the very top, Liork and Thrall are going to have a lead on it. This Punisher is most likely going to be going to the blue team, and Team France, being aware of that, is now spreading out while Team UK takes a fort in the bottom left portion of the map to try and grab their experience and build towards 20 themselves.
It is kind of funny to me that they actually take out the fort first that had the most hit points of all of them.
That's a good point.
I mean, it makes perfect sense. They go to the bottom of the map, opposite side of the map. They need level 20, so they're looking for experience. So I understand why they're doing it, but it's still funny to me because the one in the middle is still standing, and all that you gotta do is get Chrome in position once.
Well, when life gives you forts, man, you take them. Urel was able to get 20 in the middle lane and got that push back, and now defense is starting up for Team UK, but we already see Team France stomping in the top lane, heading straight in for this keep. And look, they already killed the sidewall as well early, so they could have a hard engage. And that hard engage goes off. Silence comes in. Urel low on HP, starting to kite away. There is going to be a heal at the last second. Brightwing is able to blink heal away. I cannot believe they actually saved Urel there as she gets out with a little under half HP. And now, with a full push coming on the top side, this wall is the next target for Team France.
Fantastic job saving her, and also Brightwing being in danger there for just a moment after the arrow came out from Hanzo. So a fantastic job from the UK team. Can they continue here though? Sundering doesn't do enough for the French, and here comes the attack against the Punisher, who's already down to 40% of its HP. It seems like they can defend here. It's looking good for the defense. That keep will likely not fall. They are holding on for now with level 20 versus 20. Tyrael moving in again. Thrall still trying to take the keep down, and they are close. Team UK, they gotta make a move if they want to save this one.
Tyrael goes forward, looking at that holy ground, drops on the identification. Here's me a full engage. Urel jumps in. Banana Age has forced to use the ancestral healing. Here comes the tire, and it will hit 3, but the damage is just not there. But it is for Team France as Dequaza intends to chase down Vintage Sun. One more hit, and he gets it. 2 are down, Khaldor. I am not sure if Team UK can hold this here. But Team France may be thinking, hey, we might not be able to grab the core. Let's pull away and grab the fort in the middle instead.
Leo with a mace to the face to eliminate Urel as well, and now we're looking at 6 kills to 5. It really feels that Team France has now absolutely stabilized and found their way into the match. Earlier, struggling for sure, but now looking much, much better and just pushing the red team back in every single encounter that we're getting. That's 1 keep eliminated, that's 2 forts down, another one is going to get dropped right now. So despite all of the amazing plays that we've seen from the boys from the United Kingdom in the earlier stages of the game, right now the match pace is being dictated by their opponents, by the blue team.
Yeah, Team France is really taking the map. The biggest issue here is going to be the shrines that will be spawning. There's going to be one on the bottom, but with there being no fort in the bottom middle lane for, oh, well, now both teams, they just got taken out. I was going to say the wells were taken away from that, making it a little bit harder to grab the shrines, but it looks like it's going to be a-okay for both teams, and we'll be going into even footing. Now, as we do head into this final stage, it looks like the level 20 pickup for Tyrael is going to be that Holy Arena, giving him 1 more second, of course, increasing the damage of allies that are in it as well. So we'll see if he'll be able to use that to his advantage. It's kind of hard here because they don't really have like a melee bruiser. Yeah, Urel's pretty decent at poking, but damage isn't really the main thing for her. But I think mostly he's picking that up for that extra second.
Urel push out the top lane a little bit. They still have 2 catapults against them there, though, so that's a bit of a problem. And talking about Urel, attacked in the middle, Sundering being used again. We got Wall Breaker for Thrall on 20. So cooldown burn, but it's a short one at that. And yeah, the aggression is going to focus at the bot lane. I mean, very likely we're going to have the next attack around the shrine, and this time there won't be a fountain or fort nearby for any of the teams. but top lane has to be dealt with. You have 3 catapults there, and Urel is finally splitting off to take him down.
Yeah, this is going to be a major pain in the butt. There is a world where you can put Brywing in the top lane if they need to during the shrine, then have her teleport in the last second, but you have to be really on top of that timing. Or, of course, make sure you have control of the wave before we head in the shrine, and Urel is trying to get on top of that. But look at this. Team France already had the curve here. Grabbing the Mercenary Bruiser camp in the top left will help make sure that top lane is threatening a core kill. So there's a weird amount of pressure here for Team UK that they need to play around and get on top of.
They have to engage into that fight and take it. If they don't win here, eventually they're gonna die a slow and painful death, essentially. So they're taking control over the shrine as quickly as they can. Tyrael already attempting to zone them out a little bit over here. They gotta be careful as Thrall is pushing his way through. Worldbreaker has been used. The push at the top is still going to be a bit delayed, so Team UK has some time to operate, but they need to get kills here. They need to win this fight, and they're looking for opportunities against Quasar here in the first place.
They jump in, get some decent damage on Masquerade. Masquerade low on HP, Ancestral Healing comes out. Huge arrow coming afterwards, but Devs is able to see it and blink heals away at the right time. Now that core in the top right corner is going to take some damage here relatively soon. Here's a Sandification as well as a bubble being popped. 2 massive ultimates used for that front line. Busted Shield afterwards. Here comes the Hanzo popping the damage. There's going to be a World Breaker as well, and Tyrael is down, Khaldor. I repeat, he is down.
Tyrael is down, and we have the core under attack now on the red team side. And the Punisher is taken. They at least get the Punisher, but now they got to retreat. They got to get out here. They bought themselves a little bit more time. They lose Chromie in the process. Not a big loss as the fake dragon just waddled her way to an early death. But the top lane, that's the big problem. All of a sudden the defense kicks in, but the blue team, they're not even bothering with the Punisher who's pushing at the bottom of the map solo. They're trying to end the game right now. It's only 3 defenders and the core is already 90%, so they think they got this.
Junkrat trying to bring in the tire, but an answer back from Thrall is going to be able to delete that relatively quick. Hanzo and Thrall are the main targets here. They need to be cleaned up. Even Rhaegar going in for a couple of bites. The core begins to fall, down to 70%, down to 60 right now. Vented Sun jumping in and trying to do whatever damage they can, but again, it's a Urel. She doesn't really destroy people that aggressively. Junkrat's going to get hit in the back left, and no phase shift will be there in time, and Team UK is going to go down 1-0 over Team France.
I hope all of you guys are enjoying the Nations Cup. We have an epic event on hand right now, and it's tons of fun. But please keep in mind that events like the Nations Cup, like Meta Madness, the Bounty Cup, and many other tournaments that we've been running on the channel here to support Heroes Esports are only possible through either private supporters or campaigns that we have with partners on the channel. And right now, we have a campaign going on where you can support the channel for free and with a minimum of investor time. All that you gotta do is download Opera GX, which is a browser that has an integrated VPN, has tons of themes and other features that are directly targeted at gamers. But if you download the browser through the link below and install it, maybe watch a video or two on YouTube, watch a live stream, or just play around with it a little bit, that already is enough to support the channel here. I would really appreciate if you could take a few minutes of your time to do exactly that. As I said before, it's absolutely free, doesn't cost you anything, and I've actually seen quite a few people that then even switched over because they prefer the browser to others. Be it as it may, if you want to support the channel, there's an easy way to do it. So thank you very much in advance and enjoy the rest of the show today. Alright guys, Tomb of the Spider Queen, map number 2. The French are in the lead, and well, 10 heroes have been played and are therefore not allowed in the match any longer. So we are now down 10 heroes. Doesn't have too much of an impact for map number 2, but at least it guarantees that you don't have to watch the same heroes over and over again. The French, maybe a little bit of a shock at the beginning that they couldn't crush the UK team as easily as they might have thought, who knows. But kudos to the red team, Team UK. Very surprised, very good showing, but obviously at the end the French just proved to be a little bit stronger on the first map. Now we're heading into Tomb of Spider Queen on the other hand, and we'll see if maybe the UK boys can force the third map here.
And just to confirm, it is characters that have been played are not available in the next couple of rounds, right? Not bans?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so Johanna and Chromie are characters that are fantastic on this map, but they both were played in game number 1. So look for them to, of course, not be available. But Team of the Spider Queen, man, it's always been about wave clear. Yep. Always.
Hanzo, obviously, also unavailable. Always nice for interrupts on turn-ins. And map choice was made by, I believe, the UK team. So actually, they wanted to play here on Tomb. And maybe have some strategy prepared. We have a lot of maps actually in the pool right now. And the way that the tournament works is that, at least for now, we do not have map bans. So every single map is available, so you can't ban anything out. So technically, you can go in and really just prepare hard for a specific map and then play that. And it's so typical that the French are the ones that are missing a ban. I am not shocked in the slightest. Late to press the button, as usual.
Maybe they were just making a statement, man.
If you want to make a statement, then pick Butcher.
I mean, I could see it. Why not, man?
We had a Butcher.
Yeah, great rotations with the middle lanes. You get all the little meat stacks. They just get funneled to you. But we do get a Sylvanas. Tried and true on Tuma Spider Queen. A great way to put a lot of pressure, especially on those first additional forts, making it harder to stop those turn-ins.
Gul'dan and Dehaka, so now we get our wave clear and, of course, our side lane. So yeah, plenty of that already available for them. So good stuff. Especially with Gul'dan over here.
I'm wondering about Oriel.
Oriel is actually being played quite a bit in the last couple of games. It's always a little bit tricky because when you see, for example, the German team in Group A, they were such a high favorite that they could get away with playing a lot of comps that they might not use later. They played tons and tons of double support, and they used Oriel a lot too. So we'll see if that's something that they will also pursue once that they are in the next phase of the tournament. They have used it in scrims as well, or if that's just something, you know, where they say, okay, we tried it, it doesn't really work, we're just gonna fall back on typical picks anymore. But there could be definitely a shift happening.
Okay, heard your point. Hell yeah. I'm confused right now. I'm seeing a Tyrande, and then I'm seeing an Alarak band. Tyrande, I can kind of makes a little bit of sense, right? Like, you have your combo available with Garrosh, you can follow it up pretty good. I would like to see maybe one more form of CC coming in, but what's the Alarak band for?
It's honestly just against some specific players or when you're like afraid of the combo. I think a lot of the teams are just looking at what can destroy them, and if you have a Garrosh throw and then you have Alarak coming in with a combo right behind it, you can definitely get a lot of damage done. So some are target bans that we're getting, and some of those are just simply what are we worried about. For example, the Medivh ban is mainly so that whenever Team France executes their own combo, Medivh can't shut it down, so they're banning the counter. And we got ETC.
I was wondering if maybe Gul'dan was going to go for a Drain Life build too, because Alarak would just interrupt that with telekinesis constantly, and maybe that was something they wanted to be careful of as well, but we will have to see. I'm going to need a little bit more damage too for our red team, but blue team bringing in Tassadar gives them good wave clear. Also helps out with the control. If you have any major form of CC, a black hole follow-up can be fantastic there. So we'll see if they're going to be going that route. And then, of course, Rexar, who is great on his own on this map, and also a great way to try and like get turned-ins while you're sneaking in and experience at the same time.
Tassadar, Donald's best friend. He builds walls like no other.
Oh, boy.
But we still need our final pick over here.
At least he builds them.
I love Tassadar with Diablo. It's always awesome when you see just like that wall come up and then Diablo getting the extra stun in. It's just brilliant. Double global, they go for fall stats, so that gives us great stacks for frequent flyer. So yeah, he's gonna work towards that pinnacle quest reward, and let's see if Team UK is able to complete that. But yeah, map number 2, everybody. Tomb of the Spider Queen. We're going for France against UK, our second map in the best of 3 series here in Group B. Map number 2, we got the blue team over on the left side, everybody. Yasuo on Tassadar for the Frenchies. We got the Quasar on Rexar, Banana H with Tyrande. WO is going for Sylvanas with the Unrelenting Torment here. Obviously also going to work his baseline quest, the Black Arrows. And then last but not least for the blue team, Masquerade on Garrosh.
And to the far right for our red team, Cascon on ETC, Devs on Anduin, Vintage Sun on Dehaka, Dark Druda playing Falstad, and Cafe is going to be showing off the Gul'dan, starting with the Q build so far.
Yep, pretty typical these days also with the Q build here. Have to be a bit careful, of course. Dying not an option any longer. Need to complete that quickly. Usually not really a problem. I mean, again, you get your stacks fairly easily. I've seen it a couple of times where Gul'dan struggled to complete it because he was targeted specifically, but that doesn't really happen all that often. As expected, Falstad going into frequent flyer. If he is able to rotate between the lanes here reliably, he should get very good stacks out. The first quest reward kicking in, of course, at 60, and then at 150 we have the additional attack damage, so yeah, that's something to watch out for sure.
I wanted to ask you actually. I know there was a couple of patches ago where they changed the camp timers from 1 minute down to 30 seconds, and I noticed here on this map they immediately went straight for the Merc camps. Has there been a lot of change in a lot of the battlegrounds in terms of macro, or is it kind of just accelerated the whole early game a little bit?
I think it just accelerated it. So normally you have the teams immediately moving on. Oh, false stat! No way! No way! He actually gets out! Okay, that was wild. First the fly that gets interrupted, and now this. Damn. But coming back to your point, sorry. So basically, everything has just been accelerated a bit. So teams immediately move onto the camps now at the 30-second mark, so that works quite nicely. The syncing up of the wave spawn has made some things easier. So I think it's streamlined a lot of things for the teams, and it works quite well. So the early game, it's a little bit more snappier than it was previously, I'd say.
Sure, that's what I was kind of wondering if that was how it went down. Well, in the middle lane, we are going to have the brawl to see who can get in the tug of war in terms of minions, and it looks like Red Team is just going to barely have it. No, at the last second, a comeback for Masquerade and crew. There's going to be a full engage here. Going to have Mr. ETC trying to escape away from the fight, but Sun comes around and goes for a tongue, and they're going to try and take out Misha! And Misha is able to run away on all fours.
Yeah, they had a nice tech also going on against Coffee, but the Coffee just was too strong.
Double espresso shot on this day. What do they call it? Americano? Or just water and espresso? Just an Americano is espresso and water, right? That's what the combination is.
I never have one.
You never had Americano? I feel like that'd be like your stuff. I know you get your latte, but I feel like you would experiment.
First of all, like the cafe latte is something nice, or a cappuccino, but also I told you about like that rum drink that they have here with coffee with espresso. That's the one that I'm really going for.
I can't wait to be back in Spain trying that, man.
Dude, I have so many new restaurants here that you're absolutely going to love. You are going to die over here. We have a meat restaurant here that has, God, I think they are from Uruguay. They have some steaks that are absolutely crazy. And if I show you the value for money that you get here on those, and you compare that to the LA area, you're gonna die, dude. The meat is amazing. It's absolutely incredible. You're gonna love them. There's a few new ones that I didn't know last time, and it's gonna you're gonna love it. Like, I'm super hyped for you to come back to Spain.
Just don't take me to that lady that like made 15 dishes because like I couldn't eat it all, and I felt so embarrassed because she was like trying to make me eat like everything, and I'm like, I'm so full, please, your food is so good, and she just kept going, dude.
Yeah, Mara, we're definitely gonna go there again.
The bottom.
Coffee! That was decaf. That was clearly decaf. Damn.
Are we just gonna make a tier list for coffee for every time he gets back off? Oh, banana latte as he gets 2 kills!
By the way, just to come back to what Tim just talked about, so I have actually friends that run a restaurant, they run a bar, and whenever you show up there, they just really come in with like massive amounts of food, and everything is insane.
So much food.
She's the chef at the restaurant, and so when I told her that I am bringing 2 of my American friends at the time, she was like, okay, I have like some cool stuff, and I warned you guys before. And you were like, yeah, not a problem, we're Americans, we can eat. And you both just completely gave up. God. And she just looked at you and she just started laughing. And this is like weaklings.
Yeah, I can't. Just 2 dish tops. This combo is starting to be a pain for poor ETC here, as he continues to get engaged on into a Lunar Flare, down to half HP, and a win working overtime trying to keep up those heals. Woof!
The one thing, by the way, to mention in the game, sorry that we drifted off a little bit, is that Fawcett now has the first quest reward. So it makes stacking a little bit easier for him, makes him already slightly more dangerous. But obviously, Team France is having a better early game now than they had on the first map. They got some gems that they were able to turn in. Yeah. Not that the UK isn't turning in anything, but this is much more on eye level in the early game here. And the entire series, I gotta say, is very, very close so far. I have to state it again, yes, French team, favorite, for good reason. Lots of top players here. But I personally am very, very impressed by the performance of the red team thus far. They're doing a great job here.
It makes sense, too, why Team France is doing so much better here in the early game. First off, CC is like king in the early game in Heroes of the Storm. Typically, until the heroics come off, if you're able to have more CC than your opponent, most times it's going to equate into a couple of good kills. But you also look over at Falset and Goldhand. Those characters both kind of scale up into the mid to late game, so we're kind of waiting for them to, one, get their heroics. Goldhand in particular gets really strong around level 16, so that'll make things a little bit better for them. Right now, the main goal for Team UK is keep that ETC alive. He's doing a great job so far of making sure to hold on to his W and, of course, his power slide to stay alive.
They're having a problem with their wave clear. Gul'dan can't be everywhere at once. The Haka is now coming in here in the back. They go for the Quasar. That needs to be a kill. But Falstad is mega low. They're bringing in Gul'dan too. They really want their Quasar. Sylvanas is helping out on the other hand. And there's the kill. And yes, he survives. Very nicely done by the birdie. Sylvanas trying to get away and is able to dodge it. Oh, and gets killed.
What kind of coffee was that, Khaldor? What was that? Was that a double shot?
That was an extra shot for sure. 100%. Well, which one? Gul'dan? For sure.
Yeah, the coffee kill. Gul'dan came in and got a kill on Sylvanas, man.
Early level 10, both teams now, but now we have a kill advantage for Team UK. And Falstad is at 94 stacks. I mean, 60 short from the next reward, but still. But that was nicely done. They lose 2 forts, though. So we're talking about the kills, and they were well played, but the problem is still that they lost 2 of their structures. That's a huge setback. And it could be offset by the red team if they're now getting their own turn in and can counter, get some damage themselves, and maybe take a fort or 2 out. But yeah, they have good scaling into the late game. Then you have obviously Sylvanas with their baseline at 133 stacks right now, but the red team, they need to make some moves, and they're trying with Falstad, and they're delivering. So they're going to get their own web weavers, and now they just need to make sure that they're also going to get some damage done here.
Yeah, let's see what happens here, because the bottom lane is currently pushed a little bit too far for my taste, which means it could be a really good defense for the blue team. Team France already grabbed the Merc camp in the middle as well. They're going to win that tug of war, and they're already setting Tassadar up at the top side for a wave clear. So I don't think too much damage is going to really occur here for the red team unless they find a pick. But the real follow-up is going to be the second turn-in that they have with the gems being available to them. So let's see how this all unfolds right now. At least see our team stepping up.
Yeah, they're going to get some map control through this for sure. But here comes the first stun against Gul'dan. Sylvanas already moving out. Gul'dan, by the way, top damage in the game so far. So, well, Falstad just now taking over, the 2 of them fighting a bit of a battle. And the birdie on the top has to be careful. That's the first web weaver that's already defended. The mid lane has been pushed out too. Yeah, as you already said, this one is not gonna get too much work done. It gave them some map control back, but very little actual damage output. At the bottom of the map, they might still be able to open up the wall, but that's about it. If they can follow it up with a second turn in, I guess then we're talking.
Yeah. Team France is going to be very happy with that defense. That was damn near perfect. Textbook, even. Like, control the middle lane, had Tassadar on the top side, great positioning all the way across, macro was flawless. Now, we have a potential engage here on the bottom right. Burrow already being used by Venison. He will be invisible, but here comes Misha on the back left. Here goes Ixizo for a hard engage. They find Toronto Whisperwind, and she goes down, getting picked off, and next is going to be the Bear. The Bear trying to escape will be able to retreat, but with 1 down, that is going to be a turn-in available for the red team as they turn around with Vintage Sun in position with a tongue.
Yeah, Misha with the interrupt, but then gets killed a second later. Nice kill against Duranda, though. I mean, they unleashed everything on her. That Horrify coming out was too much.
No way.
Tassadar in trouble, and he gets killed! Holy crap! Dark Druida with a big place over here. Super risky, but they pull it off and they get the double kill. They get both of them.
Bro, sometimes you gotta put your nipples out into the abyss, and he did it, dude. He just flew in, hopped on the back line, mighty gusted away. A great follow-up coming in from Coffee on the Gul'dan as well at the same time. And now they're finding a couple of great picks. And that turn-in still being available with them grabbing the Giants in the bottom right. They already have Falstad prepping the top lane as well. This is going to blow the game wide open here. Great plays for Team UK.
Never heard that one before, but the nipples were definitely out for that one. He did not care. He just went in and said, like, this either backfires horribly and I'm dying on the spot, or we're going to win something here. 5 kills to 1 now, and they have crossed into the second threshold for Falstad. So now he actually has 15 additional attack damage. He's starting to become a monster, for sure.
Gotta agree with you there. Now, we did see a Horrify use in the middle of the lane there. ETC accidentally used knockback, so the actual Horrify did not connect. So we are down 1 heroic on Coffee due to team friendly fire, but we'll see what they can do here as they start working on this wall in the middle side of the map. Now, the true story is actually in the top lane, as we have both Falstad and Dahaka with their globals already working to get that fort down, and they would love to have it, because remember, they are down 2 at the moment from the great early game coming in from Team France. And there it goes. Fort will fall. Masquerade looking for a potential flank. Can't quite find one right now. Oh, but there's going to be a Lunar Flare into a Mind Control. Here comes Anduin with the save, and it's just enough to get the red team out.
Yeah, put the ult out and then the pull. But I have to say, if you think about it for just a second, we have 2 turn-ins now for Team UK, and they got 1 fort. Team France, on the other hand, got a single turn-in, and they dropped 2.
Yeah.
So they are way more efficient. But they lost a lot of gems as well. I mean, if you just look at it currently, we still have more gems in the hands of Team UK than the blue team holds, because they were taking so many losses earlier.
Yep, that's the difference right now. They are building up towards their next turn-in. They are at 42 out of 55, but none of them have actually been dropped off. Meanwhile, as you talked about, that third turn-in almost available. ETC wants in trouble. Here comes the full taunt. There's a mind control, and that poor guy could not hit a single button on his keyboard. He was slamming right-click. He's like, can I please move? Can I please move? Can I please move? And the blue team was like, nah, bruh. Pick him off really quickly with no ETC being available. Now we can have the map set up for Team France, and they can potentially look over to grabbing Merc camps, or maybe even that turn-in.
They wanted ETC for such a long time. You've been talking about it earlier, and now they just unleashed everything on him. I mean, literally every single cooldown just got burned on the guy, and he was just, yeah, totally helpless. Could do nothing. It was his first death, by the way. First time that he died, so still a decent job. Yeah. Now we have the level 16 talents, so also a couple of big ones coming in here. Anduin in particular, with the double pull, of course. And on top of that, we get Afterburner now, so even more positioning and escape tools for the birdie. Rampant Hellfire for Gul'dan, who spec fully into that build. Things are getting interesting here. More and more AoE also from Tacitus. He goes for the Psychic Shock. But yeah, it's gonna be a wild game. No turn-in for the blue team, on the other hand. They weren't able to secure that yet, and we have a 5-man for Team UK that could technically try and shut them down here.
Yeah, they may be waiting to look for one more pick here. It's much easier to push in your opponents when they have less people defending it, right? So only having 4 gems going for that turn-in, so now they dance around, waiting to see what will occur. Dahaka currently on the bottom lane, trying to offset that bottom lane that was pushing in towards them. There we go, and we have a Rexar trying to drop off his 6 gems, but he sees a flaws. I think it's a little bit scared, which I can't blame him for it. Meanwhile, Giant Camp is being started in the bottom lane, and here we go. Blue Web Weaver push coming out, and we'll see what exactly they can do with it. If they're able to find a kill or 2, remember, they have Sylvanas. They can take it all the way to a keep and potentially the core.
Absolutely. A lot of that will come down to Gul'dan in particular and how well he can use his own AoE. Falses obviously could benefit from some of these situations as well. He is at 230 stacks. I mean, again, the 300 are in reach. That would be a massive amount of extra damage for him. So depending on how long this game lasts, France might have a problem with the bird. It's already a lot of single target damage, but they catch the Haka at the bot lane. Or are they? There's the Gust. And isolation on Misha. Kill that bear. Kill it. Take it down.
Well, they are going to be able to turn around and get the fort here. And to be fair, without the bear being available, it is a lot harder for him to get a free engage. Yasuo in the top left corner, though, potentially in trouble being pulled into the corner here. It's going to be a full ETC mosh pit, but there's not much damage there as Banana H is just dropping the heal over the wall. Banana H always makes an incredibly clutch play in every single tournament that I see him in, and that was probably it there for him. Getting off those heals, making sure to keep that spell armor to make sure that he would not lose out on his Tassadar. And here, we have a massive amount of blue. Top lane, bottom lane, and middle lane, which is going to clear out the first layer of defense for the red team. And there's a boss potentially up for grabs.
One of the problems, honestly, with Tacitus here was that the Mosh didn't catch him in range of the fort. If that was the case, then different story. But the heals over the wall were just too effective. And now the boss play. With Anduin still gone, they're not really worried about anything. But what the red team is trying to do is to simply get their own turn in and then trade the boss defense against the Webweaver defense. And I don't think that Rexar is going to be able to stop that. So yeah, they drop the gems and it's going to be the typical counterplay here. The 1-for-1 essentially. They knew it. They knew that the boss was taken. They decided to not go and try and interrupt it. Didn't have Anduin, so instead it's just now boss versus Webweavers.
Yeah, this is a typical old trade that you'll see. It's been around for years in Heroes of the Storm, so make sure to write down your own notebook, man. If you know where the opposing team is at and you're down a number, at least try to get that turn in so you can make an easy defense for the boss. Bottom right lane, though, there is going to be an aggressive play from the Fringe team as they go straight in for UK. They're going for Dahaka, and Dahaka is all by himself, and poor Vented Sun did not expect to see 4 people in his lane and is going to have to pay dearly for it.
Falset flew in, was trying to help him with the Gust, so it was a decent angle too, but he was just too late. There was no way to save the Haka in that situation, and it was the 4th kill now for Team France, which of course with all the passive experience gains that they've now gotten is helping them to hit that early level 20. So they have Storm Talents now, and it's a little bit more than a half level lead.
The question is here, do they have enough gems in for a turn? And I'm not quite sure. I think they're off barely. I think it's like 40 they have. If I do some quick maths over here. 55. So they're 5 off. If they could have another turn in right now, man, they would really open up the map. But with that gem difference being slightly off, they're going to have to play it slow and try to grab these camps. Meanwhile, on the opposing side, Team UK is working on trying to build towards that 20. As you mentioned, that half-level experience lead is a bit of a nuisance for them. And they are just biding their time.
Forrester is just trying to get to his pinnacle reward. 125 additional attack damage would make such a difference when they're going into these team fights. It's not only about the level 20 talent, but that would help him so much. But he's always a little bit late on those lanes to get a big reward here. So now here in the middle he can pick a few more up. We'll see if this is becoming a factor in this game or not, because as you already said, the blue team is about to get another turn in. Both have now level 20 talents. That gives us, obviously, Inner Fire. Falstad went for Wind Tunnel, as you would expect. But the blue team has now turned in. Falstad with another quick wave at the top. And the next thing is, they just don't have vision. So the entire time, they're just playing this super safe. Falstad knows that he needs these lanes, he needs these minions. But if he gets killed, then it's essentially lights out. So then they rely only on Gul'dan for the defense, and that just doesn't cut it.
Look at Team France, man. They're all set up in these little nooks and corners over here, sitting out else constantly, have full vision on the opponents. Finally, with the Web Weavers getting here and the giant push coming forward, this is going to be where they're going to reveal where they are at. And I'm already looking at Dahaka right now. He should try to start prepping up the middle lane, but he may want to flank in and try to go for an aggressive grab, because this is a lot of minions coming their way. And they are in dire need of defense. Here we go. Bolt 4 going to be hitting 3 on the back right. An amazing Horrify hitting 2 here. Savannah's low on HP and finally will go down. Dark Druida tries to go over with the Mighty Gust. Slightly on the late side here, though. Coffee needs some healing, and the Enderman's going to be able to provide it. Then it's Sun looking for Banana H, but he's going to be able to escape as well, as Cascon is tossed in the back of the fight. What a bloody engage.
Middle and top lane are in trouble. They're losing too many keeps here. They're losing too many structures. It's a huge problem. The kill against Sylvanas was great, but they're just losing ground by the second. Yasuo gets attacked and killed as ETC comes in and finishes him off. But losing Falstad this early in the fight was a massive, massive problem. All of the keeps, with the exception of the bot one, are now gone. And it's just, the core is taking damage as well. And just look at Masquerade with Garrosh. Big plays, just throwing them around left, right, center. He doesn't care. They're just getting flipped over and over again. And the core is losing hit points way too quickly.
I think we saw why Garrosh was a war chief for Gul'dan right there.
Yeah.
He got fully out. Well, with it all said and done, that's going to be 2 keeps going down. About, what, a third of HP left from the third one, and the core went down to 58%. That was a brutal push coming in from Team France. And Team UK now are in a desperate scenario to make something happen. Because remember, if they don't pull off this win here, they're going down to 2-0, and they're going to take the L.
Cascon did some amazing plays with ETC, honestly. Even that mosh pit that came out and allowed them to get the kill was great. But later on, the kill against Tassadar too. So he's making big moves for the team. And now gets caught again, but at least safe. They could make a play here. ETC with a slide gets out. Gust is used too. Falstad against Tyrande. The birdie gets stunned, and Tyrande with a Hunter's Mark is able to get the kill. Falstad is dead once again, and now the French are just on the hunt. They're getting Anduin. The big wall just cutting them off completely. And this is a disaster for Team UK.
Support, by the way, is Banana H wins a 1v1 against Falstad. It wins all 5 members wiped. That's going to be a 5-man team wipe. And now it's going to be all about going straight for the core and deleting it. And the blue team, Team France, is looking to set up that 2-0. GG being called by Cascon and crew. In the all chat, core is being focused down. And we had a good one for us to witness here. Mr. Khaldor.
Fantastic game. And the French, they win their first match in Group B. Nicely done. GG and well played as the blue team takes the victory on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Woo!